Happening, everybody? Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Ball Sports Network. Thank you guys for the continued support. Continue to hit the like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because I upload videos every single day. Now, there was a picture circulating across Twitter, circulating around the NBA, talking about how the NBA was going to lose basically over $1 billion, $1.5 billion through this past season, and it was a picture of Black Lives Matter on the court and the players taking a knee. And that picture leads people to believe that Black Lives Matter, or the NBA taking a stance on Black Lives Matter and putting it on their courts and their players taking a knee and all this stuff, has cost the NBA over $1 billion, right? Like, think about how misleading that is. The picture is of black players taking the knee and the big old Black Lives Matter across the NBA court. That is simply not what happened. Black Lives Matter on the court and players with the social justice messages across their backs and all this stuff, that did not cost the NBA $1.5 billion. I need to set the record straight. It did not cost the NBA $1.5 billion. That is simply not true. If anybody is trying to tell you that, if you're reading that narrative, that is not true. This is what happened. The NBA finally released their reports. Teams are doing audits, and it seems like most of the audits have come back, and the NBA did drop 10% this year. So I'm going to read you an article from Adrian Wojnarowski and Zach Lowe of ESPN. It says the NBA's revenue dropped 10% to $8.3 billion. It ain't hurting much, but $8.3 billion for the 2019-2020 season amid the losses because of the coronavirus pandemic, according to financial numbers shared with teams obtained by ESPN. The balance of the finances include $800 million lost at the gate. You got to remember, $800 million off top was lost because over 100 games were lost. All 32 teams still had games left. All 32 teams still had games left. And then once you moved the 22 teams, or all 30 teams rather, and then once you moved the 20 teams to the bubble, there was no gate. There's no fans couldn't come in. So you lost $800 million off the gate. That has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. Let's keep going. So $800 million lost in gate receipts and $400 million lost to sponsorship, merchandise, sources said. So that makes sense. If there's nobody at the games and nobody in the arenas, you can't pay for sponsorships at the arenas. So only the NBA's biggest corporate sponsors like the Michelob and the Louis Vuitton thing was holding the trophy, and stuff like that was actually got a chance to be displayed during games because you don't get the in-arena sponsorships. Makes sense. Nowhere in here does it talk about losing revenue due to Black Lives Matter. Like, that just simply isn't true. And even after all of that, over 150 between the 30 teams, over 150 games were lost. Corporate sponsors. Here is a big loss. Now, here is something that cost the NBA money. The NBA's losses include $200 million deemed net negative impact. But look at where it comes from. It doesn't say anything about Black Lives Matter. Let's keep going. Net negative impact from months-long splintering of a partnership with China in the aftermath of Daryl Morey's comments. So just a quick rundown. Daryl Morey said Hong Kong should be liberated from China. They had a big beef, and the Chinese took the NBA off their TV for a year. I think that it just ended like in October. So they took the NBA off their TV for a year. So they lost $200 million because over, the billions of people in China couldn't watch the NBA. So anybody that is trying to push this narrative that the NBA lost $1.5 billion, or if you see misleading imagery that tells you the NBA lost $1 billion because of Black Lives Matter, I almost said do something violent, but don't listen to ignorance, folks. We got to use our brains. They didn't lose $1 billion for Black Lives Matter. The people that was out here saying that they didn't watch the NBA because of the social justice stuff and all that, they probably didn't watch basketball anyway. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. The NBA did not lose $1 billion because of Black Lives Matter. That's all I got to say right now, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. It's Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Ball Sports Network. I'll see you next time.